Hello, children. Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to start the discussion of question answer and other exercise of the lesson of visit to Cambridge. Yesterday, we have completed the explanation of this lesson. So, let's begin with comprehension check. Which is the right sentence? Here we have to tick mark on the correct statements. Number 1, Cambridge was my metaphor for England. To the writer. Number 1, Cambridge was a reputed university in England. England was famous for Cambridge. Third, Cambridge was the real England. So here, Cambridge was my metaphor for England. It means Cambridge was the real England. So here we will take on third number. Third number is the correct answer. Number 2. The writer found Stephen Hawking's house. From the nearest phone booth, from outside a phone booth, from inside a phone booth. So the correct answer is the writer found Stephen Hawking's house from outside a phone booth. So we will tick mark on number 2 as the correct answer. Number 3. Every time he spoke to the scientist, the writer felt guilty because he wasn't sure what he wanted to ask. He forced the scientist to use his voice synthesizer. 3. He was face to face with a legend. The correct answer is he forced the scientist to use his voice synthesizer. एवरी टाइम ही स्पोक टू द साइंटिस्ट, जब जो लेखक थे, राइटर थे, वो स्टीफन हॉकिंस से बात कर रहे थे, साइंटिस्ट से बात कर रहे थे, द राइटर फेल्ट गिल्टी. व्हाट वाज द रीज़न फॉर इट? बिकॉज ही फोर्स द साइंटिस्ट टू यूज हिज वॉइस synthesizer. So here number 3 as correct answer. Number 4, I felt a huge relief in the possibility of my mood. In the given context, the highlighted words refer to blank. Shifting in the wheelchair, turning the wrist, standing up, walking, speaking, writing. So this is the context. I felt a huge relief in these possibilities of my body. The highlighted word refers to shifting the wheelchair, turning the wrist. So here we have completed the MCQs of comprehension check. Now let's begin working with the text. Question number 1. Did the prospect of meeting Stephen Hawking make the writer nervous? If so, why? Here in first question there are 2 sub questions given. Answer number 1, yes, the prospect of meeting Stephen Hawking make the writer nervous because Stephen Hawking was the best scientist on the earth. He was the worthy author of world-renowned book, A Brief History of Time. He had become the successor to Isaac Newton at the University of Cambridge. Meeting with such a great personality made the writer nervous. जब आप कोई बिगेस्ट ग्रेटेस्ट पर्सनालिटी से मिलते हो तो आपके माइंड में, आपके हार्ट में थोड़ी सी नर्वसनेस, डिसअपॉइंटमेंट रहती है. सो हियर द राइटर ऑल्सो फेल्ट द सेम थिंग, the same feeling. The writer was little nervous because he met a great personality, and this personality, meeting with this personality made the writer nervous. Number 2, did he at the same time feel very excited? If so, why? The answer is yes, he felt excited at the same time because it made him stronger to see somebody like him achieving something huge. This made him aware of the many possibilities present before him, thereby helping him to reach out further than he ever thought he could. Question number 2. Guess the first question put to the scientist by the writer. This question means which was the first question the writer asked to the scientist. So, recalling that thing, the answer is the writer might have asked the scientist if he had been brave to reach where he had. Number 3. Stephen Hawking said, I have had no choice. Does the writer think there was a choice? What was it? जब स्टीफन हॉकिंग ने बोला कि मेरे पास कोई चॉइस नहीं थी, तो ये बात सुनकर क्या राइटर को लगा था कि रियली में वो चॉइस होगी? अगर होगी भी तो कौन सी होगी? द आंसर इज द राइटर थॉट दैट देयर वॉज अ चॉइस. Stephen Hawking could have chosen to leave everything and be sad and depressed. He could have sulked. However, he chose to live creatively, knowing the reality of his disintegrating body. Next question. I could feel his anguish. What could be the anguish when the writer said I could feel his anguish? राइटर ने क्या बोला था? मैं उनकी एंग्विश फील कर सकता हूँ. So what is the meaning of anguish here? I said during the explanation of this lesson that anguish means several mental suffering. So attention here. Let's see this word in detail. Stephen Hawking's mind was active with many thoughts that he wanted to express. स्टीफन हॉकिंग का माइंड कैसा था? वो बहुत ही एक्टिव था उनका माइंड. विथ मैनी थॉट्स, इतने सारे थॉट्स से उनका माइंड एक्टिव था एंड वो ये सब जो सब थॉट्स थे वो सबके साथ एक्सप्रेस करना चाहते थे, शेयर करना चाहते थे. हाउएवर हिज थॉट्स केम आउट इन फ्रेजेस विदाउट रिफ्लेक्टिंग हिज फीलिंग और इमोशंस. बट उनके जो थॉट्स थे वो हमेशा कैसे थे? वो फ्रेजेस में थे, और फ्रेजेस जो होते हैं उनमें कोई फीलिंग शो नहीं होती है. हिज सेंटेंसेस वर मेयर लाइन्स विदाउट एनी सेंटिमेंट. एंड उनके सेंटेंसेस में ओनली लाइन्स थी, कोई सेंटिमेंट, कोई फीलिंग नहीं थी. द राइटर फेल्ट ही कुड अंडरस्टैंड हिज एंग्विश एंड फ्रस्ट्रेशन एट दैट. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5. What endeared the scientist to the writer so that he said he was looking at one of the most beautiful men in the world? The writer asked Stephen Hawking if he found it annoying that someone like him came and disturbed him in his work. To this query, the scientist replied in the affirmative, frankly and honestly. जब राइटर ने पूछा था स्टीफन हॉकिंग को कि अगर कोई डिसेबल पीपल आपसे मिलता है, आपके वर्क में आपको डिस्टर्ब करता है, तो आपको एनॉय फील होता है, तो ये क्वेश्चन के आंसर में जो साइंटिस्ट थे उन्होंने एफर्मेटिव रिप्लाई मीन्स पॉजिटिव रिप्लाई दिया था, फ्रैंकली दिया था, ऑनेस्टली दिया था, येस. देन ही स्माइल्ड हिज वन वे स्माइल एंड दिस वॉज वॉट एंडियर्ड हिम टू दी राइटर. और उनकी ये बात जो है वो राइटर के दिल में लग गई. द राइटर फेल्ट दैट ही वॉज लुकिंग एट वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल मैन इन द वर्ल्ड. तो ये बात जब उनके दिल में छू गई थी, उसके बाद राइटर ने कन्फेस किया था कि वो ऐसे ही कोई मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल इंसान की तलाश में थे. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. Read aloud the description of the beautiful man. Which is the most beautiful sentence in the description? The answer is the sentence describing the inner glow of Hawking's personality, which makes his physical looks irrelevant, is probably one of the most beautiful descriptions of beauty. 7th question. Number 1. If the lantern is the man, what would its walls be? The answer is, if the lantern is man, its walls is the human body. अगर लैंटर्न एक मैन को रिफ़र करता है तो जो वॉल्स होती है वो किसे रिफ़र करती है? सो इट रिफर्स टू ह्यूमन बॉय. देन नंबर 2, लाइट ऑफ लाइफ. What is housed within the thin walls? The answer is, light of the life is housed within the thin walls. Number 3, what general conclusion? What general conclusion does the writer draw from this comparison? The answer is, the writer draws a general conclusion that inside our body is the eternal soul. Everything else is an accessory. Accessory means, I said, that is not required but something extra. It's called accessory. Question number 8. What is the scientist message for the disabled? The answer is, the scientist Stephen Hawking's message for the disabled that they should concentrate on what they are good at. They should make the best use of them and thank God. Question number 9. Why does the writer refer to the guitar incident? Which idea does it support? The answer is, when Stephen Hawking said that the things such as disabled Olympics were a waste of time, the writer agreed with him. He remembered the years which he spent trying to play a Spanish guitar that was considerably larger than he was. He was very happy when he unstringed it in one night. It supports Stephen Hawking's idea that the disabled should only concentrate on what they are good at and not take up things unnecessary. So students, for today we have completed 1 to 9 question answers. In next session we will continue with next question answers and other remaining exercise. Thank you everyone. Bye. Have a nice day.